Hey guys, welcome back to my video. Today I will be reviewing Masters of the Universe. Masters of the Universe is based off the cartoon series back in the 80s, so it's a really old piece of media. But I do recognize He-Man. So like when people say He-Man, I can picture in my head, oh, this is how it looks like. This is this whole power sword thing. Skeletor, I know him. So I know some things about him, but I don't know anything about him at the exact same time. I know like the memes and all that too. So I know vividly of this character, but you know, I was worried about watching the movie because I didn't know if I needed to like know He-Man and the whole lore behind him. But fortunately, you don't need to know anything about He-Man um, because it explains you in the movie. There's a whole like prologue, this whole narration that they do that they explain the whole lore behind this universe, right? Of who he is, where he comes from, what planet he's on, things like that. So that's good to see. There was also a movie released in the 80s under the same name, Masters of the Universe, and that one was a huge flop. It did not do well in the box office. So Travis Knight, the director of the 2026 version, had to kind of reboot the franchise. While the 80s was more dark, gritty, the 2026 version was more colorful, bright, and fun. So also you gotta understand that with technology nowadays, of course, the quality is much better than the 80s. So of course, that is expected to improve in quality. But other than that, the 80s movie just wasn't good. So Masters of the Universe is about this guy named Adam, and as a kid, Adam always thought he was weak. He didn't think he blended in with the rest of the group during training. Um, there was also Tila, who is Adam's childhood best friend, and she would always outone Adam in combat during training, so he would have his confidence really low. He is also the prince of Eternia and um the the prince of King Randor. King Randor is the ruler of Eternia. Then one day Skeletor comes in and raids the city of Eternia. He just comes in and just tears that whole city down. He just destroys everything. Everything that stands in his way, he just destroys that. So basically, the heroes of Eternia have to fight back against Skeletor's forces, and also has to force Adam to retreat. He has to go retreat to planet Earth. He has to go to Earth. How cool is that, right? And I forgot to mention earlier that there is this sort of power. This sort of power is kind of like a manifestation of it's said that whoever holds the sword will become the strongest person in the universe, right? You'll become unbeatable basically if you have the sword of power. Also, I feel like we spend a little too much time on Earth. So there's this like whole sequence of Adam. He has to find the sword because he lost it. And there's just like so many like places, or I mean so many scenes that felt like they kind of dragged on too long. It felt like if we just shaved that off and focused more on the plot, it would have been better because like there was like some moments in the Earth uh scenes that just felt like it dragged just a little bit. This movie is 2 hours and 12 minutes long, so it is not long, but it is a decent runtime. But I felt like the Earth scene kind of dragged it just a little bit. But after the Earth scenes, you go to Eternia, and then that's where it kind of picks up. That's where it gets interesting and fun. Well, throughout the movie, it's always interesting. It's always fun. I enjoyed it so much. So, but like I said, there were just some moments that kind of did drag, especially in the Earth scenes. That's where the iconic phrase comes from. If you put your hand up with the sword and say, "By the power of Grayskull, I have the power." You say that, and then you become the strongest person in the universe. Whoa, you have powers now. Basically, that's what the whole sword thing is about. And so after Skeletor just raised the village, Adam goes to Earth through a portal, and he kind of has amnesia from the whole thing once he lands on Earth. Um, he leaves everybody behind, right? Tila, his parents, his mentor, Man at Arms, everybody. So he's basically on his own on Earth. And he has to draw, like, to remember everybody from Eternia, he has to, like, do, like, these drawings of all the heroes so he won't forget them. His parents, the whole Eternia planet, he just draws them so he doesn't forget who they are. And I thought that was really cool. So he will not forget them. That's really cool. Then one day, Tila finds Adam on Earth, and with the Sword of Power, they both go back to Eternia to defeat Skeletor and take back Eternia. And that's basically the whole plot of the movie. Also, I gotta say that the actors were really good in this movie. Nicholas Galazine as Adam He-Man, he was really good for this role. Camila Mendes as Tila was also really good. Um Idris Elba as Man at Arms is really good too, and Jared Leto as Skeletor was also pretty good too. It was funny because I didn't know that Jared Leto played Skeletor. Like, he's unrecognizable in this film. You can't tell that that's Jared Leto, but not gonna lie, he did pretty good in this movie. I liked his Skeletor. Skeletor is supposed to be like this corny, cheesy villain, and Jared Leto just kind of sells that. So I think that's good on his end. And Alison Brie as Evelyn, I thought she was pretty solid. However, I did think that her lines were a bit corny, but that could be just a scripting, a dialogue thing. But I don't know. Sometimes the delivery just didn't kind of stick the landing for me personally. But I thought she was solid, not too bad. But I think that the other actors did much better in their roles with their characters. There were also, like, so many sexual jokes in this movie, and I was thinking, oh damn, should kids be watching this? Because, like, there was some jokes about the sword that Skeletor made, and I'm like, oh man, he's dirty minded. He is evil and horny. Wow. Evelyn too. She was also making some dirty jokes to Skeletor. Like, y'all are both dirty minded. Y'all both need to chill out. Also, the music was really, really good. Whoever composed this soundtrack was, they were definitely cooking in there because, like, whenever, like, they were playing the music in the intro, I was like, oh my god, this is a headbanger. And that's that quality throughout the movie. You get this quality of this music, and I think it's really good. So the music in this movie was really good as well. Also, the set design was really good. Um, Eternia was really beautiful, actually. It looks really good. It feels like you're actually in Eternia yourself. It's like this, like, Greek medieval esque type setting. It's really good. I really like Eternia. It looks really expensive, so they did nail that on the set department. I think they did fantastic. So no complaints for the visuals because the visuals were great. I loved it. So this movie was pretty expensive to make. I believe the budget was 170 to $200 million, and the box office grossed like $102 million, something like that. So like about a 50% loss on profit wise. But while the movie did flop, it is not considered a fail by Amazon. In fact, there is a uh, sequel already in the works, so that's great to hear. I am so excited because I really hope that there was a sequel. So we will be seeing more of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. So I'm excited for that. So I'm so glad that there will be a sequel. But box office wise, it's doing okay. Um, ticket sale wise, but it didn't quite become a hit in the box office. Also, the movie can feel like really comedic at times. This movie is a comedy. It is not a serious sci-fi. It is not this gritty thriller fantasy movie. It is a comedy. It is just a fun, brightly colored adventure uh, about defeating evil. That's it. That's what it is. And while it is a comedy, which can be good, there were so many things in this movie, so many moments that could feel corny at times, and also some moments that were not necessary to implement a comedic moment in that moment. The best way to describe it is that it's a human movie comedy, not a human movie with comedy. Overall, I think I would have this scored an 8 out of 10. It's really good. I really liked it. There was heart, there was charisma, there was comedy. I just really enjoyed it throughout the whole entire film. If you like sci-fi adventure comedy, I think you'll enjoy this movie really much. So yeah. Where, like I said, there were like some comedic moments that did not quite stick to landing because it is a comedy movie, right? So there's gonna be some jokes, and I wish there were some funnier ones too, not gonna lie. And there was also some parts, especially with like um Man at Arms. I wish they kind of explored his character a bit more. Yeah, I mean, it could feel cheesy at times, but I think that's the whole point of the movie. It won't work for everybody, but if you like that type of stuff, then yeah, this has it for you. Anyways, that's all I have for today, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.